Today we're going to be doing our review of the YUME X11. In our other video you may have seen our unboxing and first impressions video. Today we're going to be doing a review. So Andrew's been riding this all over the place. Give us a brief introduction again on the YUME X11.
This is an 11-inch tire scooter with 60 volt 35 amp hour battery, so 2100 watt hours. It's got dual 2500 watt motors, and it's supposed to go up to 50 miles and 50 miles worth of range, but I've gotten it up to about 45 miles per hour.
We're gonna ride, and at our next stop, we're gonna talk about the things that we love about this scooter. You're like crying.
I'm crying. I was going so fast earlier. It's such a beautiful scooter, I'm crying.
Tell us what you love best about this beautiful scooter.
I love the gold look on this scooter. It's just a beautiful scooter for the price point. I didn't ever expected a scooter to look this great for under $2,000. I do love the LED deck lights on this scooter. They're pretty cool. You have a controller to be able to control them. And it's a fast scooter, so when I say it's not as fast as the other ones, this goes plenty fast. This scooter is a lot faster at full charge, so one thing is it does tend to throttle you down when you're below 50% battery.
So initially it was pretty underwhelming, but I think that was because we didn't have a full charge in that first video, the impressions directly out of the box. It's kind of like a Bowser on Mario Kart, right?
Exactly.
So nice slow acceleration, but once you get going, you're going.
It's a pretty decently fast scooter. It's got a very large battery. It does come with 2 chargers, which is nice. So in case you have to charge fast, you can charge 2 of them. You can leave one at the office, you can leave one at home. The steering damper that originally came with this wasn't that great, but YUME has promised to send a new steering damper to anybody who bought the old one. And once they've worked through that old stock, the new one should come with the gold one on it as well. The steering damper allows me to take my hand off of the handlebar and push down my helmet. I wouldn't be doing that with a lot of other scooters going this fast, but I do love the steering damper because it does add a lot of stability to the scooter. So I do love the steering damper. It has decent turn signals. They're kind of small, but they're pretty bright. And I love the 11-inch tires. 11-inch tires are really nice for safety reasons. You just never know what you're gonna hit and what you're gonna run into. The bigger the tire, the safer it is. So that's what I do love about this scooter.
For the price point, this is a very good looking scooter with some pretty neat features that you usually don't find at under the $2,000 price point. I will say one of the things that I really do like is the fact that it has these USB ports for charging. One here, and one right there. So you can never have too many USB ports for plugging in your peripherals, to charging your phone. And if you haven't seen that video where we show you how you can actually put a GPS tracker on these scooters and keep it charged with these USB ports, that's a fantastic use for that USB port. It's a great way to be able to locate your scooter in the event of a theft. Lights are usually pretty crummy, especially at this price point, but these lights are fairly decent.
Yeah, they're fairly decent. I wouldn't say I love them, and I wouldn't say I hate them. They're just not as bad as most of the other scooters at this price point.
We're gonna keep riding. While we're riding, we'll talk about the things that we don't like about this scooter. So let's keep going. No electric scooter is perfect. The YUME X11 is no exception. It certainly has its flaws. For me, one of them being, it's a loud scooter. So as you can see, and as you can hear, this scooter loves to go clickety-clankety when it goes over a bump. And it's just mainly the fender.
It's the fender, and it's also these lights. Man Robot uses these lights. They're encased in metal, and they clank around. You hear that? Sounds like jingle bells. Jingle bells, jingle bells. Jingle all the way. It's kind of a double mess with the fender and the lights.
Aside from the loud noise, what do you not like about this scooter?
I'm not a big fan of the red and yellow buttons. They're pretty cheap for the dual and single motor and eco turbo mode. The deck can also be slippery on this scooter because you have grip tape down the metal, but it's all aluminum on the left or right side. And these handlebars, they're collapsible handlebars, which I like. I like solid handlebars, and then they're also not too wide. I'd say these handlebars are maybe 25 inches, 26 inches wide. So could definitely be increased in width.
Another con is the way that it folds. It folds such that you can't quite collapse it all the way, as Andrew's going to show here.
This ignition gets in the way, so it can't fold all the way down.
I'm not a big fan of the horn. It's kind of got this grating noise. Why don't you give us a little beep? The rear part of the scooter is lower than the front, so it's kind of low rider in the back. I think that's good if you want to stretch your Achilles out while you're riding, but when you're riding for long distances, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. I like a more level scooter.
And then the front air suspension, which is nice. I love that there's air suspension and you can adjust it. You can't adjust it while it's mounted. You have to basically remove the air suspension, pump it up, put it back in, see if that's where you like it. And then if it's not where you like it, you got to remove it again to pump it back up. So you literally have to take off these two bolts on this side, swing out the suspension this way, pump it up or remove some air, put it back into place, try it out. If it works, it works. If not, you got to do the same process over and over again. It's a really poor design where the front air suspension is.
Difficult access to the air suspension. And then I would like to add, it's a rugged looking scooter and it has off-road tires, but I really don't think this is an off-road scooter. So we're gonna take you here off this little trail here and just test it out. So we've been taking this actually on quite a few off-road trails, even this single track trail here, and I think we're gonna have to revise our statement about off-roading. I mean, I think light intermediate off-roading, but nothing heavy. What do you think, Andrew?
Yeah, I agree with that statement completely. This thing's been handling this trail pretty well. I've been shot out of the single track and I've been able to recuperate, so it's good for this type of light trail. But anything heavier, yeah, I think you're better set with a different scooter. But this is nice because it's pretty versatile, that you can use this as a cruiser to head to work. And if you have some light off-roading trails that are on the side, go ahead and hit them with confidence because you have off-road tires.
The reason why we said we didn't like it for off-roads is just because it makes so much noise. And a lot of that noise is coming from the rear fender and from those lights. And so if you can just figure out a way to tighten those or just to decrease the noise, I think it would handle pretty well. We did mention the tires though, and that is something that maybe we don't like about it, that's kind of curious or a mystery. Andrew, why don't you expound on that?
Yeah, it's split rim, so there's tubes in the tires, but these are considered tubeless tires. So that was really interesting to me, that these are considered tubeless tires that have tubes in them.
Tubeless tires, but they have tubes. Mystery.
Mystery, yeah. Easier to change, easier to fix if you have a flat. However, it is a lot more safe to have tubeless tires.
That are actually tubeless.
Yeah,
we have
exactly.
tubeless tires, but they have tubes in them. So I'm not sure what that makes these safer and easier to change. I don't know. So Andrew's just trying to tighten up some of these lights. I will say the more that we ride this, the more impressed I am with this scooter. The one thing you'll have to realize is there's no US distributor that will help with maintenance. And so if you do go with YUME, part of the low price built into that is the expectation that you will be doing some of the maintenance. They can and they will send you parts as needed. You can order parts, but you need to be on the handy side when it comes to YUME scooters.
Just understand there's a reason why you get such a good deal on these scooters. The folding mechanism on this is really pretty simplistic. You basically want to turn off the scooter, because I have no kickstart on. I don't want to accidentally push down on the throttle. Undo this twist for the handlebars. You can lower the stem with this little latch right here. And then to unhook it, you're gonna do two things. You're gonna unhook this little hook, and then you're gonna rock it forward and drop that red notch. And then it just folds into place. What's really nice about the scooter is it does lock into place when it's folded, which most high-powered scooters unfortunately don't. So you can pick it up and it's not gonna drop on you. And then a couple other things too. There's a 10mm bolt right here. You definitely want to tighten this, and you want to make it upright first and then tighten it, because if you don't, you're going to have some play in the stem. So see, this stem is really rock solid on here, but if you don't actually tighten that up, it's going to really feel sloppy and it's going to feel loose to you.
All right, lastly, let's talk about who this electric scooter is for. This is a very good budget electric scooter for in the 11-inch tire class. Good looking scooter, lots of features, budget friendly price. I think if you're looking for those things, you should definitely consider YUME X11.
To me, it's a great replacement for a vehicle. If you're going 30 miles for a ride and want a comfy ride into work, this beats the 9 Max quite a bit. It's twice the price, but it's got twice the features, a lot more comfortable, a bigger battery, more power, suspension, but it is loud and it is obnoxious that the fender and the lights rub. So if you can get past that big issue, it's a pretty sweet scooter.
Be sure to check out our full written review at gotscooter.com. As always, thanks for watching, and remember, when you ride, wear your safety gear.